Mama, there goes that man atop the rookie ladder rankings again. It's beautiful. Kon Knueppel. We discuss the way that he's looked so far through the first 14 games of his NBA career. Do the Hornets have a problem in closing time? And then we'll go to the Sicko Satchel. That's all today. Locked On Hornets.
You are Locked On Hornets, your daily Charlotte Hornets podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
In a minute, cuz we live.
It's Locked On Hornets, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making us your first listen. We're free and available anywhere you get your pods, and that includes YouTube. And by the way, when I say we're a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, we're now the number one sports podcast network. Number one in all the land. So we appreciate everybody supporting us. Doug Branson, everyhornetsboxscore.com. Go check him out on his Substack. Also go check out the show he helps produce, Yahoo
the number
Sports.
One Substack in all the land on the Hornets.
In all the land. Everyhornetsboxscore.com. Also Yahoo Sports Daily with Jason Fitz and Caroline Fenton. And I'm Walker Mehl. Listen to me, WFNZ, every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. The number one sports show in all the... we can't. That's the most annoying gimmick for a show. We're just going to have to go ahead and stop that right away. The con jokes, much better all throughout a show than... God, we need to stop that right here, right now. The con jokes, not so much a joke right now the way he's playing. I have to pinch myself to wake myself up and then still realize, oh, it's true. No, I thought I was dreaming. This isn't some kind of cruel, sick joke where it feels like the universe is giving us something to cheer on and then they take it away. No, I'm knock on wood with the whole takeaway part, but it hasn't happened yet.
Knock on Christian Wood.
It's been the second straight week, I believe, that Kon Knueppel has been number one on the rookie ladder rankings. Woo! And Doug, more than that, there's not really any debate as to who should be up the ladder rankings. That's what I feel great about. Cedric Howard's been awesome. Cooper Flagg starting to come around. VJ Edgecombe falling back. Trey Johnson falling back. We'll get into all of it. But that's what is a nice little warm, comfy, cozy blanket for me, is that there's really not another answer. Who should be number one atop the list? It's Kon Knueppel, and even in a deep class where guys are playing well, there isn't anybody that's relatively close to him right now with the volume, the efficiency. It's Kon. It's clearly him that should be number one on the rookie rankings.
Well, and what you love to see is that even with LaMelo coming back in that game against the Raptors, obviously brutal ending, but Kon Knueppel was the team leader in game score, and he was doing a little bit of everything. And man, like the effort that he gives possession to possession is kind of insane. Like as soon as he gives the ball up, like on a DHO situation, he's immediately going to, off his own screen, he's going to immediately go to the rim and try to get the rebound. If he gets the rebound, he's going to immediately pass back or try to get to the middle of the floor for a midi. Like he is just crazy with the effort. It's awesome to see. And I just want to read what Steve Oshburner here on NBA.com has to say on the rookie ladder, putting Kon Knueppel number one. It's always something for NBA rookies. The most highly rated ones typically get drafted into tough situations. Many experience coach firings. Some get plugged into new-to-them roles, often off the bench. Then there's Knueppel, whose emergence during injury absences for relative team elders LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller opened the door to a new pecking order in Charlotte. Ball is back, Miller could return soon, and it will be interesting to see how K2 and the Hornets rookies are blended into Coach Charles Lee's mix and vice versa. Hey, you know you're doing lots right when you're being used after just 14 games as a comparison for other prospects. I add on to that this quote that we got from Bobby Portis, who has seen Kon Knueppel twice this season, said this on the Run It Back show. He wows you on the court. You probably wouldn't even think he hoops if you didn't know he plays for the Hornets. So that's awesome. That might be the first ever great thing said about any Charlotte Hornets related topic on Run It Back's history. They're usually trying to trade LaMelo Ball and poop on the Hornets.
All the time.
So I don't know what's the opposite of a stray. We finally caught something other than a stray on Run It Back from Bobby Portis on Kon Knueppel.
Yeah, it was the opposite of a stray bullet, I guess, is a direct hug. That's what it is. We it was meant for us, and we got something good. We appreciate it. Run it back. That's the point I keep driving home. I think it does hit people, is that this is a good draft class. Kon Knueppel playing the way that he is right now last year. I mean, the odds for him to win Rookie of the Year at this same point would have been minus 10,000. Why didn't I do it then? I know. Stephon Castle was good. Like, he's an awesome player. I love Stephon Castle, what he does, but he wouldn't have beaten Kon Knueppel the way that he's playing. It's not that class. It's a different one. You know, I see Trey Johnson fall all the way back to 9, Doug, and I can't tell you that I've been paying a lot of attention to what Trey's been doing. We both liked him pre-draft process, so I looked at his stats, and it's not like Trey's been playing bad. He's number 9 on the rookie rankings, and he's shooting 37% from 3. You know, it's like 43% from the field for Trey. That's not bad as this spark plug guy. That's kind of what he's supposed to do. Come in off of the bench and fill it up. He's doing that to some degree, and he's number 9 on the list. Ryan Kalkbrenner is number 4. Like, Kon is 1, Kalkbrenner is 2. The draft class has been crazy good. Sion James might have a case to be up here top 10, even if the shooting woes have hit him. Never was going to shoot 70% from 3 all year long. That wasn't going to happen. Would like to see him shoot a little better than what he has been shooting the last couple of weeks. Even so, I do like what Sion is doing. It's just that, man, I'll tell you this. I teased it. It's a promo you can hear right now on WFNZ. It's going to be a topic for tomorrow's show. I think maybe we can dabble in these waters. Did the Hornets just draft the best player available in this past draft? Is there a possibility? Did that happen? I would still buy a lot of Cooper Flagg stock. I would still make my bet that Cooper is going to become the best player out of that draft. Kon's playing really well right now in a way that doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. It's not one of those older player type things where Chris Duarte just comes out and hits 7 threes in his debut, and you know it's just because he's 25 years old. Nah, man, Kon was a one and done. So he's still young. He looks awesome. And I'm allowing myself to go to some pretty dangerous spaces.
No, a couple of things. We talked about it last time you and I were together, which was there's plenty of room for Kon to grow, particularly as a passer. You know, he's got room to make some improvements. So just to back up your Duarte point, and you know, though he is hitting a lot of threes, that's what you want any rookie to do, and particularly a wing player in today's NBA. You want him hitting a lot of threes, and he's doing just that. But back to your rookie class point, because I think some people could hear you going, well, the Hornets drafted a good rookie class, and say, wait, forget good rookie class. That's fine. Like, Kalkbrenner's been good. He's 4th in this ladder. But Kon has been special. The rookies have been good, but Kon has been special. But I would say, hold on, because I think the good rookie class, the fact that they hit on, I think for sure they've hit on 3. And, you know, we've got to give Liam McNeely a little time. He's been out. Could have had some more opportunities here, but he's been out with an illness. I think he's going to be out for this game against Indiana. But they've at least hit on 3. And it's allowed the Hornets to play functional basketball, and that has benefited Kon Knueppel greatly, because I think when you look at the fall of Trey Johnson right now, you can attribute a lot of that to the Wizards playing miserable basketball and that not really benefiting Trey Johnson. While the Hornets have been doing some losing for sure, they've lost double-digit games already, they've been playing, for the most part, offensively, they've been playing functional basketball. And how many times has a Ryan Kalkbrenner block shot turned into a transition opportunity that leads to a Kon Knueppel 3? How many times has a Sion James hustle play led to points or an assist for Kon Knueppel to Sion James in the corner? So the fact that they did gather some of these older rookies and say, all right, we're going to put you in immediately, and those players actually step up and be good, solid NBA players, has been a boon for the Hornets, and it's been a boon for Kon Knueppel's ability to get out there and impact the basketball game.
All right, some closing thoughts on Kon Knueppel and some opening thoughts on closing time. Coming up next on the Locked On Hornets podcast. What do we make of Miles Bridges' hero shots in closing time? Is it a coaching thing? Is it a Miles thing? Is it a we don't have enough talent thing? LaMelo not playing thing? We're going to explore all of that and answer some questions coming from the Sicko Satchel coming up next. This episode is brought to you by Skims. Did you know that Skims now makes underwear for men, bringing the same attention to quality and comfort they're known for? Well, now you do. The men's line offers something for everyone, from boxer briefs to classic briefs, all designed with the perfect balance of comfort and style. Finding underwear that fits well, stays in place, and moves with you throughout the day, it can be a challenge. Skims solves that with lightweight, high-quality materials that provide all-day comfort, whether working out, traveling, or just going about daily life. Shop Skims Men's at skims.com and Skims stores. Let them know we sent you. After placing an order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu. Thanks again to Skims. This episode is also brought to you by FanDuel. The NBA, it's here, baby. There's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game or want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next to fourth quarter comebacks. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, especially when your team is making that late push. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So head to FanDuel.com to sign up today and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. More Locked On Hornets ahead. This episode is brought to you by FanDuel. By the way, right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Head to FanDuel.com to get started. And remember, thank you for making us and Locked On Podcast Network, the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network out there. All right. Any thoughts, any closing thoughts on Kon Knueppel, what he's done so far?
I expect a big night from him against Indiana. Indiana is, if you haven't been paying attention, the Pacers, I'm sorry to say, Walker, your favorite team, they have been a disaster to open the season. Not an incredible, not a shock, I guess, because no Tyrese, they lose Miles. They don't really do anything to alleviate either of those losses. But I don't know that people thought this was going to be the level of the start. So I think Kon Knueppel going to have plenty of opportunities. And it's interesting to note in the NBA rookie ladder stuff, Steve mentions that Cedric Howard plays significantly better in wins for the Grizzlies than in losses. And it's the same is sort of true for Kon, particularly in the shooting percentages. His three-point shot around 53% in wins, around 44%, or overall field goal percentage, I say 53%, then 44% in losses. But more three-point shots go down in those wins and turnovers. So he's about a turnover less in wins than losses. So when Kon plays well, the Charlotte Hornets win.
The Pacers stuff, I mean, they're a shell of themselves. Like, they have so many injuries and they have guys playing for different teams. So it's Pascal Siakam, a little bit of Ben Mathurin, a little bit of Nembhard, maybe a tiny bit of McConnell off of the bench. And then it's Tony Bradley, it's Jay Huff, it's Jeremiah Robinson Earl, it's Isaiah Jackson, it's Jarris Walker. So not been great for them. All right.
It goes to tell you like how much belief matters. And when you lose not only Halliburton, who is the heart and soul of that team, but then you lose Miles Turner, you know, what is the psychological effect of that? Because you just rattled off some really talented basketball players, and yet belief and the psychological aspect of this game, I think, is super important. And you take that to the Hornets side where, yeah, again, they've done plenty of losing this season, but they've also done more winning than the Pacers, and I think a lot of that has to do with the belief that is centered around Kon Knueppel, Moussa Diabate, and some of these other high-energy players, Colin Sexton for sure. And then it's like, how do they, and this was a big factor in the Raptors game, is that enough to overcome size issues that you have really across the board? I mean, they got beaten in Toronto by the physicality, by the length of that team. You know, psychology can only take you so far. You need a big performance from LaMelo Ball. You need better shot decisions by Miles Bridges for sure.
Well, yeah. So Miles, speaking of shot decisions, let's just go there. Closing time. Miles Bridges in a couple of gotta have it possessions at the very end of game scenarios after the opposition just scored the previous possession. It was New Orleans. It was, who was it? Jose Alvarado. That's right. Hits a step back three on Colin Sexton, and the Hornets, they need a bucket. Miles Bridges goes down really without allowing the offense to get it set whatsoever, and he decides to take a fadeaway three-point shot from the elbow with a couple hands in his face. Not exactly the best shot. All right, so fast forward to Toronto last night. 7 seconds left after Ryan Kalkbrenner has his shot blocked by Brandon Ingram. Just an incredible play from behind on Ingram. Totally clean. No issues from anybody there. There shouldn't be. So 7 seconds. Sion James inbounds to Miles Bridges. And you have a couple of looks, in my opinion. I went over this yesterday. Felt like Sion, off of the screen, off of the inbounds pass, has a chance to flatten out on the baseline and maybe be a recipient from a Miles pass and then just score right at the bucket. Who knows? It might have gotten blocked because the Raptors were blocking everything in final possessions, but could have had an opportunity there. I also thought maybe Miles could have hit Kon Knueppel in the corner, didn't take a shot the final 4:30 of this game after leading even still.
Yeah. Wow.
In points with 24 points. So like maybe you kick out to Kon, but it just felt like Miles had already predetermined, right? Like even on the Sion cut that I mentioned, Miles wasn't looking anymore. He drove, he spun around, he was going to force a shot up, and then eventually Colin gets the offensive rebound off of the Miles miss. Scotty Barnes clean block. NBA 2-minute report would also say there wasn't any funny business after the clean block. No missed calls in that specific scenario. All that to say, we've seen it a couple times here, Doug. Closing time issues, do they exist? And if they do exist, is the answer to that problem on the roster as currently constructed?
Yeah, for Miles, it's not just a final possession problem. I feel like times throughout this game and other tight games, when the game does tighten up a little bit, his shot decisions just get worse. He can make good shot decisions for stretches of games. And certainly he was not, and he made some tough shots in this game, to be fair, against Toronto. And when a lot of guys weren't. I mean, it was really like Kon Knueppel and Miles Bridges. If you were going to go, there wasn't really a crazy hot hand in this game, but if you were going to go to one, you would pick between those two players, but you would ask Miles Bridges, hey, make the best decision in that moment. And it's not as if there was like less than a second on the clock, right? And we've seen Miles do this before when there was plenty of time, racing down the floor, taking it upon himself and just seeming to have blinders on, not really even trying to process what was happening in front of him, just made a decision and threw it up there. And so, yeah, I think you combine that too with something that I think gets hidden in this Raptors game with that bad shot by Miles, which is that just a couple of possessions earlier, maybe one or two possessions earlier, LaMelo Ball with an opportunity to either take the lead or tie it up, drives and comes up empty. And we've seen plenty of that, even going back to last season. He's hit plenty of big shots with his three-point shot, but when he's asked to drive and finish, it's been a little bit more difficult for him. So Kon Knueppel, he's missed a go-ahead shot in this season already. I think the answer is on the roster. It's just not healthy right now. I think it's Brandon Miller, who we saw hit one of the biggest shots last season against the Detroit Pistons to get a win for this team. Brandon Miller is a player that, because of his size and his ability to get it up quick, is, I think, a cheat code in those moments. They just don't have him. I think LaMelo is too. It's just he doesn't seem like he's fully in rhythm. He was 1 of 7 in the game. Like, I think it is with his three, but if the defense is keying on that, and they were on that inbounds possession, they were really not going to let LaMelo get that ball.
It was Pirtle cheating. Like, that was the screen, right? Yeah. That was the opening for Sion. It was Pirtle saying, okay, I see what you're trying to do for LaMelo. Yeah. That's the point of Sion. If he cuts hard But and I wonder if he would have cut harder had he actually thought he might get the pass. But he seems to see Miles spin away from the basket and then goes for box out. As soon as he sees that, it's a smart play from Sion, right? As soon as he sees it, he boxes out his guy. Anyways, go ahead.
No, you're totally right. And to me, the promise of Brandon Miller and the promise of possibly now Kon Knueppel can be closing time, having one or two players who can really get shots over or through or around any kind of defensive coverage, or get fouled or get to the line. I don't know that I'm really confident that LaMelo can do that. I think I'm more confident that he can step back and hit an insane three in that same way that I was kind of confident that Terry Rozier could do that. That's the whole thing. They have a closing time problem in that they have not been able to replace whatever they lost when Terry Rozier was on the floor and, wanted to win and all of those things, right? So they haven't been able to really figure that out. And a lot of that has been guys have been in and out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. All that stuff goes into it. So my answer is yes, they have a closing time problem. I'm not sure it's as much coaching as it is figuring out, having guys healthy enough for long enough to figure out exactly who you want to go to in closing time. I think it's probably Brandon Miller, maybe Kon Knueppel someday.
Well, I got thoughts on it as well. And by the way, last thing, you're not wrong on Terry Rozier. It's just that we have real guys that are injured, not any guys with fake injuries. We're not faking anything.
Allegedly,
we're injured all by ourselves, buddy. Allegedly. Sorry. Allegedly. Don't come after me. Coming up next on the Locked On Hornets podcast.
Bees everywhere!
I think there's more to chew on with some of these final possessions in these games. So I've got a few more thoughts. Then we'll answer some Sicko Satchel questions. Coming up next, LOH. This episode is brought to you by Rippling. If you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier. But now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps that slow down your teams and simply don't work together. That's not SaaS, that's SAD, software as a service. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance, all in one place, and they've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system designed to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. Everything from onboarding to payroll to IT access, it runs automatically and perfectly in sync, whatever you needed to do. It's seriously simple to use. It gives companies one source of truth for their people, data, and everything they touch. And whether you want to run your entire HR, IT, and finance operations as one, or just fill the gaps in your software stack, Rippling can do it all. And right now you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. Learn more at Rippling, RIPPLING, rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rippling.com/LockedOnNBA for 6 months free. More Locked On Hornets ahead. A couple more things that I wanted to talk about closing time. So you brought up some of the late game situations. Correct me if I'm wrong. There's been one biggest shot of the season that was made so far, at least as far as I can remember within the 10 minutes we've been having this combo. Kon Knueppel, Friday night against Milwaukee. How does he hit it to tie the game to send it to overtime?
Yeah.
He hits it off of a missed Miles Bridges dunk in clutch time. So there's 3 shots that Miles Bridges has taken. 2 have been bad shot selections. I want Miles going for the dunk, right? It's just kind of a fluky thing, but Kon was ready for it. So the New Orleans game, the dunk against Milwaukee, and now this game against Toronto. Who is the guy on the roster that can take and hit big shots? Well, the biggest shot of the season to this point in that type of scenario, it was Kon Knueppel doing the best with an absolute mess of a situation, right? Nobody plans for a missed dunk to end up in your lap in that kind of moment, and Kon was ready enough for it to pull a quick trigger. Bang. We're going to overtime against a Giannis-led Milwaukee Bucks team, unlike Wednesday when they beat a Giannis-less Milwaukee Bucks team. So you have that. The other thing is, I do wonder the dynamic with the team right now, Doug, and how quickly it changes. Because Miles Bridges is your longest tenured / best player. when it comes to both of those things. He's not been in the league as long as Connaughton, but he's your longest tenured player / best player. So in those situations, with no LaMelo on the floor against New Orleans, with LaMelo not playing overtime against Milwaukee, Toronto, I don't know, LaMelo not playing, LaMelo just, all right, well, we'll just go with the veteran player here. How much of it is Charles Lee giving Miles the benefit of the doubt? Because that's what you do with your vets. I don't have any issue with that. The team, the players, they do look to Miles as a leader, and so you kind of just gravitate towards your guy, especially with all these rookies playing crunch time minutes. It's Kon, it's Kalkbrenner, it's Sion James. It's younger players on the team too. It makes sense to gravitate towards them. My question is, how long? Mm-hmm. Does that change like now? Like tonight against Indiana? Does it change in a week? Like I get Charles Lee saying, "Hey Miles, whatever you feel, man, you got it. We're gonna drop a play. Here's the look."
I don't understand that. I don't understand. Maybe he hasn't. Well, in fairness to Charles Lee, is not watched for as long as we've watched.
Well, and before you go in on this, just maybe he's not, right? Like maybe he's drawing up the play, and maybe he expects Miles to do something differently. We don't know that. We're not going to know the information to that, But that's what's happened. It's been Miles in these situations for different reasons, and. The dunk, it's fluky. He didn't hit it, but it's fluky. It's not so much that he missed the dunk. It's that Kon made it, right? Yeah. It's that he ended up with the basketball, and we needed it, and we got it from the rookie.
It's just the way it is. Rookies, unless they are, consensus number one overall picks on certain teams in certain situations, rookies are not given roles. They have to take them. And so I think what you're witnessing is Kon in the midst of the taking. And I think there's going to be competition there with both LaMelo Ball and Brandon Miller, but that will be healthy for the team to figure out. That is my entire point on this is, yes, the Hornets have a closing problem, a crunch time problem, but it's not existential. I think it is in the midst of getting figured out. And in that figuring out, there will be more crunch time losses ahead. But I'm more hopeful that they've both in Brandon Miller, if he can stay healthy, and now Kon Knueppel, that they pair that with LaMelo Ball and his shooting ability, they are going to make defenses have to think more than ever in those crunch time situations. And then Kon Knueppel getting more experience in those situations. And too, like in a lot of these, they've had rookies inbounding the ball. They've had Sion James inbounding the ball. So yes, it's going to be more difficult to execute in crunch time when you have rookies instead of guys who have been in the league 5 or 6 years initiating these plays. Yes, those are going to be issues, but they are solvable, and I'm more hopeful than ever that they will get solved.
All right, Sicko Satchel time. What you got for the people who wrote in? What division are they from? Tell me.
All right, so this is one of the newest members of the Sicko Brigade. This is Luke of the 7th Lynn Division, and Luke has a question about LaMelo and the conversation around him. Here we go. I know there is a lot of Melo conversation about trades and moving on, and to be frank, it makes me sad, since he is the first star player I have cheered for through their entire Hornets career. I began following the team around 2015 and Kemba, but I really fell in love with the Hornets around the beginning of the LaMelo era. My fandom for the Hornets is not conditional on LaMelo, but I am wondering what you think it would look like for a small market team to part with him. Do we fall into the Chicago Bulls land and try to win by committee of good, not great players? Do we wait for the next big thing out of the draft, or do we sell our souls for a star to build around again? I love Kon and B. Mill, but it doesn't seem like they are going to be the face of the franchise.
Well, a couple things. One, we don't know that about Brandon or Kon right now. We're 14 games into Kon's Rookie of the Year leading career. So far be it for us to put a ceiling on what this guy can do. Brandon Miller, we haven't seen enough healthy basketball from him, but there's potential there for sure to be pretty impressive. And there's potential with LaMelo, just oozing potential. We just got to see him on the court. Classic stuff. Don't need to get into that anymore. So what do you do with LaMelo? Like, okay, I don't want to trade him. we had the episode I did solo about is it worth it anymore with LaMelo after he experienced the initial injury. And people were, it's the most down we've been all season long, despite there being plenty of things to point to and be positive about, Kon being the biggest. It's the most down we've all been when LaMelo got injured. So I still it's just not the right time for me at this point. That being said, one interesting question that is popping up because of what Kon is doing is, are the Hornets maybe more likely to trade LaMelo with Kon being the guy that can fill the void that LaMelo leaves behind? So I hear that, and I think understandable question, but just like the little girl in the taco shell commercial, why can't we have both? Can we just have LaMelo and then use Kon as insurance for when LaMelo's off of the floor, and then have Brandon, shocker, right? All three of them are healthy at the same time for more than one game. That would be nice. So yeah, it's all about seeing how it all looks, but I'm not ready to trade LaMelo. I would like to just see all three of these guys play with one another. And if it can't happen because of health, then fine. All right. But I don't want to come to that answer quite yet. I'd like to figure out a little bit more so than, just the 14 games that we have right now.
What was the taco that Taco Bell had for a long time? It's been discontinued. So I think it was called the Double Decker Taco, which was
good.
It was a hard shell taco wrapped in a flour tortilla, right? Yeah.
Doug,
flour tortilla
I don't
was on the outside. Now they had a bean gluing mechanism, like a refried bean gluing mechanism. I would always say, kill those beans and just give me some cheese in the middle there. And my local Taco Bell accommodated me there.
I don't mean to step on your toes here, but this is my world. I had a whole segment about this at 7:30 about just how great the double decker taco was. Yeah, they used the beans as the adhesive. Like, you could use the cheese if you wanted to connect both tacos. So the beans, cheese, it's so very good. Now they have different varying titles of a very similar type of taco, but Taco Bell, you're right. Just give me the double decker, Kon being the hard shell, I guess.
Yes.
LaMelo, the soft shell.
For sure.
I don't know who the bean adhesive is. Brandon feels more than just beans. He feels more than beans. Maybe he's the taco meat. Maybe that's what he is.
Yeah, or maybe, see that, maybe he's the meat. Somebody else is the adhesive. Maybe Sion, James. Maybe one of these rookies. Maybe Kalkbrenner.
Kalkbrenner seems beansy to me.
Very beansy. Just inside, making a lot of guards poop their pants right now for sure.
Refried Kalkbrenner.
There you go. All right, so to get back to the meat of the question, the ground beef of this question, Luke. I think that everything that I've seen from Jeff Peterson so far has indicated to me that the franchise, thankfully, and this includes Schlotkin, the ownership group, has no interest in doing what Chicago is doing, which is having the committee of good, not great players. Because frankly, I think that's the easiest thing you can do. I mean, there are lots of teams that would love to give a poo-poo platter of players that are good, not great, up for LaMelo Ball. And so plenty of teams make that decision because they don't. I mean, Indiana made it for a long time to do that, to get into the playoffs because they wanted the gate revenue. Because right now, the Hornets not making the playoffs is not a boon for the financials of Schlotkin and company, and it wasn't for Michael Jordan and company. I mean, they're saved every year by revenue sharing from the Knicks and the Lakers and all that. So if they wanted to do that, they would do that. And they continue to say, no, we're going to be patient and try to do this thing and win in a sustainable way. And so I don't think that they're going to do that. So if they did move on from LaMelo, I think it would be because they were convinced that they had a future or present star in Kon Knueppel or a future and present star in Brandon Miller. And they were confident, we can lose LaMelo and still make some things happen. So to answer your question, I don't think they're going to do that. And I think they're going to hang with LaMelo because they know that LaMelo, even with all of the stuff that he still has to learn in terms of being a playoff type of player, a winning playoff type of player, he does things on a basketball court. He creates advantages. And I was trying to talk with my guy Sean Woodley of Locked On Raptors about this after the Raptors game because, he was like, man, it must be frustrating watching LaMelo ball. I'm like, sometimes, but also
on the bench. Yeah, it's frustrating watching
it's frustrating
him on the
when
bench.
he doesn't play. But he creates advantages that no one else can. And that's the whole ball game. That is the whole NBA ball game, is that you have to have really multiple players, but you've got to have at least one player that can create shots and move defenses in ways that no one else can. And LaMelo is one of those players, and you better not give up that kind of player unless you have a surefire plan to replace it.
LaMelo is the fire sauce on the taco. Just makes everything come together, brings a lot of sauce to the court. If the court was a Crunchwrap Supreme. That'll do it. Thanks for making us your first listen. We're free and available anywhere you get your podcast. That includes YouTube. We'll be back tomorrow to recap the Spicy P game, the game against the Indiana Pacers. Doug Branson also covering it on everyhornetsboxscore.com. And you guys might, I don't want to, can I share it on Yahoo Sports Daily? You guys might talk maybe a little bit of Hornets. Maybe. Okay.
You just have to tune in and find out.
Yahoo Sports Daily.
Got up to you, Kon.
Caroline Fenton, please. Con, give my man something to talk about nationally. I'm Walker Mehl. Listen to me, WFNZ, every weekday from 12 to 3 p.m. Sports Radio 92.7 FM. Have a great rest of your day. Again, we'll be back with you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.